What is up, y'all? We are here for episode 15 of Big Brother. We have somebody in power who is a trip, but we're going to get to it. But if y'all are new here, hit subscribe, thumbs up the video, drop your comments down below, subscribe if you are new, and I'm not going to waste too much time. Let's go. Let's get into it. All right, so Jimmy has been evicted, and Rachel, she's happy to hear that he is loved by America, but obviously she's not happy at all. But Mickey states in her DR that she stands on her decision. Like, she didn't want him to go home, which I don't believe that. But she states that she feels like her HOH was successful because she sent home a big competitor in the game, and it's a savory meal. Yes, you sent home a big competitor in the game, but for your game, it was stupid because that was a number that you could have. That could have been a jury vote for you. Stupid move. But she then states, because that's the whole thing. When I state that, like, Jimmy going home, he definitely needs to go home, but there's a time and a place for that. He's somebody that you would need in jury. Like, you need him for a vote to win the game. Like, that was somebody that you had as an alliance member. You can get him out, but get him out whenever jury's there so you can build a jury that actually would vote for you to win. Mickey, come on. But she's sitting there talking about it's a savory meal. Okay, we'll see how long. But she then states that to Ashley, which we saw at the end of last episode, where she said she wonders who that second vote is. She tells us that the only vote that Jimmy should have had was Rachel, and she doesn't know who the second vote is, which I thought she knew, but in the moment it looks like she didn't. But she was like, I don't know who the second vote is, but I bet y'all find out. But Rachel, she's crying about Jimmy. She was like, I tried my best to get him the votes, but I just couldn't get the votes. We saw the flashback. We saw it in real time. She was trying to scramble to get those votes. Just was not successful. But she talks about how she made a last-ditch effort to try and get Ashley to vote for Jimmy in that hallway when they were voting. And we got to hear everything that was stated. And she pretty much tried to throw a Hail Mary, pretty much stating, like, Ava said that she would vote for Jimmy. She's going to vote for him. And Ashley was going back and forth, like, I don't think she will. But Rachel got her to the point where she was like, okay, I'll go in there and vote out to evict Kelly. So Ashley went in there, and obviously she voted to evict Kelly. But then when she comes out, Will's coming in, and she's like, so who are we voting for? Who are we voting for? And he says Jimmy. Like, we're voting to evict Jimmy. And she was like, what? No, I thought they went back in there. It's like, what's I fucked up? I messed up. But I truly believe in the moment, because the rest of this that was happening, I was like, I don't know if she really was just lying just to lie. But I think Ashley truly believed that when she went back to revote, she thought that vote actually counted. In my mind, that's what I'm thinking. But Rachel's now crying, stating that nobody listened to her. Like, nobody would listen to me. Like, I played this game twice. I've won. Like, these newbies, they're just making bad game decisions, and I just feel like I don't have anybody to work with. Yes, she's right. Like, they are making bad game moves. Like, sending Jimmy home, like she stated, was stupid because you could have sent Vince home. Vince is one of those players that will literally skate to the end and have a good, convincing argument because he's playing the middle. And that's an easy win. And Vince, he's not the smartest game player, but he's starting to build a game that can actually be argued. Like, in the final, the way he's moving in this game back and forth, kind of having his hand in a little bit of everything, that can be used to literally manipulate the jury to vote. Because granted, he could think that him going up there and stating what he stated to Mickey was the reason as to why she put him up to get him evicted, and he could take credit for that, even though we all know there's differences behind why Mickey ultimately put Jimmy up on the block to send him home. But he could use that and take credit for it. So it's just, Rachel's not stupid. Rachel pays attention to that stuff. But Riley, Vince, and Keanu, they're in the storage room dancing around because Riley won the blockbuster. But Vince was stating that Jimmy and Rachel had become essentially a powerful duo, and he didn't know if both of them would come after him, which is why he decided to vote to evict Jimmy, because they were too dangerous together. But Ava and Kelly, they're trying to figure out who that second vote is. Ava wants to win HOH because she don't know where she stands in this house. She don't know what's going on in this house. Like, she's confused, and she knows the only way that she won't be is if she has the power. But Rachel, she's in the wine room crying, and Keanu comes in asking if she's okay. He's checking in on her. She's like, this is kind of ironic that you're the one in here checking in on me. And he's comforting her. She's crying, and she then tells us, I don't know if she told us or him. She tells him that she notices that everybody else in the house that she gets close to ends up going home. And she feels like, I don't know if I'm the problem or not. She's crying as she's stating this. And he was like, you know better than anybody that only two people can be in those final two chairs. And he's not lying. And he was like, I mean, I feel alone too, essentially at this point. Like, we feel alone together. And we know it's true because Keanu has been the target since day one. Granted, he did put a bigger target on his back than what was already there by stating, I'm coming for all of y'all, even though essentially he is. But he didn't make it easier for him, but he is a target. Like, he's been targeted the entire season. So he understands. And Rachel, of course, she understands. This is not unfamiliar territory for Rachel. The only thing that's unfamiliar is that she did not have Brendan in the house with her. So that's the difference. But he tells her, like, I'm not opposed to voting against the house, but I had to vote with the house this time to try and make my target smaller. And Rachel says, like, Kelly's so strong. Like, it makes no sense for anybody's game to keep her in the game. It doesn't. Like I said on Thursday, her losing that blockbuster was the opportunity to send her ass home. She won all three. She won 3 of the 4. The one that she doesn't win, you need to send her home. And they didn't. Like, it's stupid. But Keanu then states the better way to look at it is that people are respecting your game. People are targeting the people that you're closest to. And, I mean, honestly, you're the only person here that has won. And he's right. I mean, you can't look at it that way. And it's like, you can say, okay, well, they're targeting the people that you're closest with. But that's because they can't get you. And it's like, at this point, can you look at it as the way that he wants you to? Because it's like, okay, well, they're targeting everybody else that you're closest to, but they're not targeting you. Which could mean, okay, well, they're trying to keep you here as a shield. But it's just like, I mean, I get what he's stating, though. But he then states that he'd be careful getting too close to Ashley because people are annoyed with her and want her gone. That makes Rachel cry even more because she doesn't want Ashley to go home either. And that's what she states. But Rachel says she just doesn't understand why he's being nice to her when they always fight, essentially. And he was like, I mean, we don't have to fight. Like, as a person, I do adore you. You could tell Keanu is, you could tell he's a good person at heart. Granted, he will pop off, but you could tell he's a good person at heart. And he's low-key kind of winning me over. He got me low-key wanting to root for him. Because, like, he's an underdog in this game. And you could tell, like, he's trying to find his way in the game and try to find alliances. And he's playing the game, and I can't do nothing but respect it. But he tells us that he cares about her, and he wants her to know that she's not alone in the game. Ashley comes in to check on her, too. And she ends up stating, I just knew that he didn't have the votes, talking about Jimmy. And Keanu was like, I mean, I thought you was the one that voted for him. And she was like, no, I thought you did. I said, this is where I was like, Ashley, I don't know if you should lie about it. But then again, I'm like, you done lied about it now, so you might as well stay with it. But this is where I realized in a moment she probably thought that her vote counted when she went back there and redid it. So she tells us that she's frazzled and all she can really do at this point is damage control. But you could tell her mind is just racing. Like, you can just see it. Any steal that they have of her, it's like you can tell Ashley is tripping out in her head. But Keanu then states to her, like, you got some work to do because everybody else thinks it's you because he hugged you when he left. And we know he only hugged her and Rachel. So we get a scene of Mickey, Ashley, and Morgan in the room. And Mickey's asking Ashley if she voted with them. Like, did you vote to evict Jimmy? And she was like, I mean, I didn't vote to keep him. And Mickey was like, so who did? Because everybody thinks that it's you. And she was like, why? Because he hugged me? And she was like, yeah, because he only hugged you and Rachel. And Morgan ends up stating, like, if he hugged you, he felt good about your vote. And Ashley was like, that's interesting. And Morgan then says, like, she saw Rachel looking at Ashley. And I feel like she only went and talked to y'all because she felt comfortable with y'all actually voting and felt like she could count on y'all. So Ashley then states that she didn't vote to keep him yet again. And Mickey then states to us in her DR that if it was Ashley, it just proves that she doesn't trust her HOH and they were trying to work together, essentially. I wouldn't trust her HOH either because it was a dumb move. Mickey, like, it's stupid. But Mickey and Will, they're talking about it. And Will's keeping Ashley's vote to himself. Like, he knows what she did. But he's not going to rat her out. And I love it. I love it. Y'all know how much I love Will, and y'all know how much I love Ashley. So I love how they have each other's back in this game, and he's protecting her game. And he said, like, that's her business. He's telling us this. He says, that's her business. She working that angle, and she going to have to work it. Like, I'm just going to let her figure it out. But he then states that him, Ashley, and Mickey are working together, and he just doesn't want Ashley to get targeted. And he knows that if that gets revealed, it's going to put a target on her back that's already there anyways. But Mickey then tells Will that they're going to put her up. Like, they're going to put her up. And Will was like, I'm for sure, but I just don't know how to manage it at this point. But Mickey then says, like, if it wasn't her, the person that did it knew that Ashley would be the easiest one for us all to think would be the one to vote. But Ashley and Will, they're talking, and he's pretty much telling her, like, you got to hold this till you die. Like, you gotta literally keep this in. And he's not lying. At this point, you done told people that you didn't do it. You cannot turn around and say, yes, I did. And he states too, nobody can prove it. So at this point, just stick with it. And at this point, that's all you really gotta do. You gotta stick with your guns. But Ashley's in her DR. She's tripping out. She's like, I don't know what I did. But Will then says, essentially, your ass gotta win for real. But we get to the HOH. And Ashley wants to win bad because she knows she needs to at this point. Like, all eyes are on her and Rachel. But it's the face-offs. I love this challenge. It's the HOH. It's the face-offs where they have to guess certain things. So this particular one has Jack the Dipper, and he's dipping the chips in the dip. And he's dipping them a certain amount of times. You got to guess how many times he dips the chip in which one. So Vince, he knows Rachel's gunning for him. Rachel knows she's short on allies. They both want to win. The first one that was chosen at random, we got Riley and the Ghost. And if you don't know who the Ghost is, I don't know either, but it's Lauren. I forgot Lauren was even in the house. Since her HOH, I forgot she was in the house. Like, Lauren is a ghost. Like, literally. But Riley versus Lauren. Riley wins. Lauren's eliminated. Riley asks for volunteers. I'm like, as much shit as you talk and as tough as you want to seem to be, why don't you start calling people out? Why don't you call out your targets? Like, I can't stand this scare gameplay. Just call out who you want to go against each other. So nobody raises their hand. Obviously, who the fuck is going to do that? But of course, Zach eventually does, loser. And then Kelly raises her hand because we all know Kelly likes to do crazy shit. But Zach versus Kelly. Zach wins. Kelly gets eliminated. He ends up doing the same thing, asking for volunteers. Loser shit. Rachel ends up stating, like, this is such a newbie move. Like, the point of this game is to pretty much point out your targets without actually stating they're your targets. Like, Rachel's like me. She can't stand that punk gameplay. But he chooses Morgan versus Will, which is stupid. Morgan was like, why would you choose? Like, what? Zach is a dummy. I've been saying it all season. He's a fool. Why would you put up somebody that you're working with? Don't you want people that you're working with to have the higher chances of winning the HOH? Why would you? When you got other people sitting there that you are not working with, you put them up against each other until you have no other choice. Like, what? But Will ends up winning. Morgan gets eliminated. The person that you work with got eliminated. And I'm happy she did. But Will ends up choosing Catherine versus Vinny. He did it immediately. Balls. Real nigga shit. But he then says, like, he wanted to make sure that one wouldn't have the chance to put him up. Smart. That's what you're supposed to do. But Vince wins. Catherine gets eliminated. Vince chooses Ashley versus Rachel. I wrote that down before he even did it. I already knew. But Rachel wins. Ashley gets eliminated. She chooses Vinny and Zach, like Will, on that real tough shit. Like, yeah, I want you up. I'm going to make sure you know that. And she did it with no hesitation. Zach wins. Vince gets eliminated. He chooses Rachel versus Keanu. Rachel wins. Keanu gets eliminated. She then states Zach again and Riley. Smart. Riley wins. Zach gets eliminated. So we're down to the final four. He chooses Rachel versus Will. Ava been sitting there chilling. She ain't went once. And it's down to the final four. So Rachel gets eliminated. Will wins. Rachel's frustrated, obviously, because she wanted to win, but she hopes that either Will or Ava wins, and she'll be okay with that HOH. But Riley versus Ava, they're in that top 3 round. Ava wins. Riley gets eliminated, and I was excited. I'm like, yes, finally. So Ava versus Will. Ava is the HOH. I was excited, but then I'm like, I don't know, because Ava is a wild card. But post HOH, she like shit about to get real up in this house, and they pretty much asked her like, what's the rules? And she says there are no one-on-ones. I'm tired of that shit. Like, if I need you, I'm gonna call you. If that ain't some shit, I would say. But Vince is hoping that his allies will pretty much go to bat for him, the ones that are actually close to Ava, because he ain't feeling good about her being HOH. Duh. But Ashley wanted to win HOH because she's scared because of her vote. But Keanu also states that this could literally be his worst case scenario because Ava is unpredictable. Can't nobody really guess what's going to happen. Anybody could literally go up. But anybody but Will, Mickey, honestly. But Ava and Rachel. Ava then tells Rachel, "You're safe, like girl. You ain't gotta worry about nothing. Like you get to chill. Like I don't want you to worry about anything but just building your relationships. Focus on that." And Rachel's like, "I love you so much." And she tells us that it's just nice knowing that she's safe. It's nice knowing that she don't have to worry about nothing, and she at least knows that she has somebody in this game that she can work with. But Ava, like I said, she told her, "You need to go focus on your relationships. Just do that this entire week." But Ava goes up to Morgan and Zach. She goes up to him and tells him, "You should feel good. Basically, you're safe." Remember, I said that. He's relieved, obviously. And she then says that her and Zach are on good terms. Remember that. But we then see Mickey and Ava talking because Ava trusts and values Mickey's opinions, which in terms of game, after last week, I don't know why you would. But she says she loves Mickey's aura and wants to work with her and cares about what she thinks and what her opinions are in this game and wants to share her nomination thoughts with her. So her nomination options that she has is Vinny, Keanu, and Ashley. When she said Ashley, I rolled my eyes. But Mickey is looking surprised because she don't want Ashley to be one of those ones. And Ava says Ashley talks too much. So many other people do too. And then again, Ava, that's somebody that's not coming for you. Like, y'all got to be smarter in this game. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? And she said Vinny and Keanu do as well, and he's the only one that she's gotten into. Well, Keanu was the only one that she's gotten into it with. But she then states that she doesn't find Ashley trustworthy. And Mickey tells us, like, she cannot put her up. Like, you cannot put Ashley up because that's a number that we need to keep in this game, and we want her at least to jury. And Mickey then says, like, I love you, but that's not the best move. Like, that's not the best game move because that person, she's the only person that would go home. Like, if you put those three up and she's one of those two still sitting there at the eviction night for the vote, she's going to go home and we need her. And Ava shrugs and smiles, but Mickey then tells her again, like, she is not the one to get out right now. Like, not right now. And Ava then tells us, like, she loves Ashley, but she's a chatty Cathy. That she just don't trust, and she feels like she gotta go. I said, she gotta go? Excuse me. But we get a scene of Riley and Catherine skipped. Rachel and Vince, they're in the bathroom, and he's pretty much asking her, like, do you want to speak to me one-on-one? And she's like, sure. Like, she don't want to, but I want to hear what you got to say. That's basically what she was saying. But he then tells her that she's closest to Ava. So he wants to talk to her, even though it pains me. Like, I just want to make sure I'm good. And he then says, like, he knows that people think that he's playing the middle, and he's trying to have personal conversations because in this game, you want to be good with everybody. Rachel immediately knew what the fuck he was doing. And she says, I'm a straight shooter. Like, you're literally just talking to me because you want to make sure that things are smooth for you because I'm cool with Ava. She clocked the fuck out of him. Riley comes in there asking to take a shower, so they move into the wine room. And Rachel tells us that she sees straight through him. Like, she says, I know that he's scared, and I know that he knows that I'm close to Ava, and he's trying to use this as a way for me to go vouch for him. She ain't stupid. And she was like, you still target me at this point. He acknowledges that and says that he fucked up. She's like, yeah, you did. And then he starts pulling out these waterworks like somebody gonna believe it. Like somebody gonna believe it. And Rachel knew immediately. She's like, I done did the Bold and the Beautiful. I know soap opera tears when I see them. And that's literally what it was. Like, looking stupid. And she was clocking it. And she tells him, we're starting over at this point. Rachel's telling him what she feels he wants to hear, which is smart. We all know Rachel is literally doing this just to get him out of her face. And at this point, to also make it seem good, like she thinks that she can. I feel like she feels like she could sell that she's giving him a clean slate so that he'll get off of her back. But she knows at the end of the day, he's probably still going to come for her. But for face value, that's what you need to do, even though we all know she's still going to target him, as she should. But he says, you mean that? And she was like, yes, we know she don't mean it. But he does the same thing with Will. Tries to get in there and tries to put waterworks on him because he knows that he's close with Ava too. And Will was like, what the fuck? The face he made when he started fake crying, Will was me. I was like, what? He said, what the hell are you doing? I cannot guide you to stay off the block. But Ava comes in to steal Will, takes him up to the HOH room, and he was like, thank you for saving me, because he all over the place. And he started crying and shit, making me uncomfortable. I said, if that is not me. Like, the reason why I'm such a fan of Will, I literally see myself at his age. Like, the things that he does and says is shit that I would do. So it's just so funny. But Ava's sitting up there with her fur hat. If I can find a picture of it, it's gonna be the thumbnail. Her fur hat. She got sunglasses on and this empty wine glasses. She's just sitting there. I said, this chick, that HOH itis is up. But she states for her game, he got to go home because essentially, like, he don't trust me. So the fact that you don't even trust me being HOH tells me that I shouldn't trust you. But Ava, Will, and Mickey, they're having a conversation now. And she asked them, like, what are they thinking? And Will says, like, Vinny, Keanu, and Zach would be my options. So Will then says, like, he likes Zach, but he's tired of the same people being on the block. And the way that he targeted him in that HOH had him feeling some type of way about it. Like, we was the Burger Bros, and he was like, at this point, I'm going vegan. But Ava then says that she's putting up Vinny, Keanu, and Ashley because she's trouble. She's trouble. She's trouble. I said, don't piss me off, Ava. Don't piss me off. Because the way she kept stating it, it's like she gave more reasons as to why she's putting Ashley up. Which, to me, makes it seem like that's your target. Because the one that you have a target for is the one that you have a lot more reasons as to why you want to put them up. I don't like it. But Mickey still states, like, Ashley pisses us off. You piss us off, Mickey. The way you play this game pisses us off, but we still need her. And Will and Mickey, they trying to get Ashley or Ava off of Ashley's case. And Ava's like, I mean, I value their opinion. I don't trust Ashley, but I want to make a move that's beneficial to my game as well as their game, which you better than me. I'm not making moves for nobody but Grant. Like, we can play games, but if it's not beneficial to my game, I don't care what's going on. I don't care. But she was like, she's going to make a move that's best for their game because those are the people that she's closest with. So we get to the nominations, and she votes for, not votes, she nominates Keanu, Vinny, and Zach. I was like, uh-oh. But she then says that she picked the people that were most shaken by her winning HOH, which proves that y'all don't trust me. So Ava then tells us that she chose Zach over Ashley because Will and Mickey felt like that was the best move. Keanu, he's tired of being on the block, as we already know, but he's excited to possibly win another veto. Benny's pissed off, and so is Zach. I can't stand Zach, man. He's always screaming. Like, always screaming, but he's screaming for real. I'm like, relax. Screaming and whining about keeping himself off the block. And if I don't win this veto, I'm going to use my power and activate. I said, relax, dude. Relax. But that was it, y'all. Thumbs up the video. Drop y'all's comments down below. Subscribe if you're new. I will see y'all on Wednesday. Peace.